That's right, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is 6 o'clock, which means one thing: it is time for your final qualifying session of the week and of the SMRC eSports Racing Spring Championship. I am David Christie. I will be taking you through another hour and a half tonight of PC entries. We're coming down to the business ends, and we have just 3 heats tonight for the PC as we get down towards the busy stuff, down towards our final weekend of racing. Tonight is going to be at Silverstone GP in the Porsche 911 GT3 24-hour endurance version. And before we jump to the track, let's have a little look on board with one of the cars and actually see what it's like to take one of these cars around the track. We'll give you an onboard guide, and then we will head out onto track and have a look at qualifying just now. So enjoy this. I filmed this at the beginning of the week, and it's a little bit of an onboard lap with the car. So again, really important to get a decent fast exit from Club Corner here. This last corner, there's a lot of weight in the car, it shifts about an awful lot, and then it's on to the main straight here. So again, turn 1 is very deceptive. It's a right-hander. You want to throw the car in nice and early and just lift off the power ever so slightly, but keep that car controlled using the throttle pedal. You'll want to brake to scrub off a lot of the speed, but you can really control the car's direction and inertia quite well with some decent control of the throttle pedal. Rounds corners 3 and 4 here, and then it is on to the straight. Down into this hard left-hander just before Luffield. Again, so easy to miss your braking point here. You want to drift the car in nice and late and then get a good exit, and then it's round the right-hander here for Luffield. And again, you don't want to let that car wash out too early on the power. You've got to be nice and patient. Patience is the name of the game with this car. Along the straight here, and then into Cops Corner. This is a super difficult corner to judge correctly because the entrance to it is much later than you think, and again it's so easy to take way too much speed into that corner and go far too wide. Then through the complex at Maggots and Beckett's, and again momentum is the name of the game here. You want to try and keep up as much speed as you come out through the left-hander at Abbey. And then it's on to Hangar Straights. We've only got 4 corners left to go at this point, and the crucial one here is Stowe. This long right-hander that you're about to come up to here is onto the brakes, let the car drift in, and then just gently feather the throttle back in, and then let the car just wash out to the left-hand side there, and then it's in towards Vale Corner for the final time. Onto the brakes, nice, deep into the brakes there. Pull the car left, and it will struggle, it will want to keep going straight on there, and you can see the car jiggling under acceleration there as it goes around Club Corner, and that is a decidedly average lap around Silverstone, but filmed by yours truly. And without further ado, let's head over to the racetrack and get in with qualifying. So we have got 7 cars with us out of 14 cars that were due to be joining us tonight, so I've got no idea what on earth has happened with this first heat. We will find out on that very shortly. So we'll pop on a little bit of music. We've got 5 minutes left to go in the session, and we'll be back with you. So back on board. And Keir Riley currently on top with the fastest lap and having a little bit of a spin there around the second turn there. David Simon currently in third place. We've then got in third place is Richard Crozier. Fourth place, Kieran Smart. We've got David Taylor-Piggott up into fifth place, but he's got a little bit more time left in that car. We see Steve Turner exiting through. Is that Club Corner? I think he's coming through just now. No, I think that's through Luffield actually, so he's in the middle of a lap just now. We've got Alex Hawcutt has joined us in the session, but as I say, we've got 7 cars out of the total, I think it was 14 cars we were due to have in this race, so again, not sure what has happened to the rest of them. So let's have another look then. So Keir Riley on pole position from David Simon. We've got Richard Crozier in third place and Kieran Smart in fourth. We've got David Taylor-Piggott in fifth place. Steve Turner into sixth place, and then Alex Hawcutt in seventh. So again, good evening to everyone that is on the stream with us tonight. Good evening to Craig Lax, who will be out in action. We've got Tam Hamill, who we saw earlier on during the week. We've got Ailey Mercer, who is cheering on her better half, Keir Riley. Well, worse half, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, Keir Riley still in pole position with a 1 minute, and he's had some real trouble with this competition so far. He's really found it difficult in the mid-pack. And he is currently showing how it's done there, 2:02.601. And I've got to say, that is by far some of the fastest times that we have had throughout this session. You can tell there's a lot of practice going in here, at least for the guys up front anyway, because that's 0.5 of a second between your top 4 drivers. You've then got David Taylor-Piggott in 5th place, 2:07, 5 seconds behind, and then Steve Turner 6 seconds behind there, 2:09. And then it's Alex Hawcutt 2:12.326, but we have still got 18 seconds left to go, and Keir Riley into the pit, so he feels like he's done enough. We've got David Simon going through Cops just now, and we've got David Taylor-Piggott now. What can he do? He is really struggling with this car. I don't know if he's going to be able to do anything just now. He's on the back half of the circuit. Down into Cops Corner. The car just coming through. We'll go on the chase cam. This is one of the luxuries that we do have with the PC streams, is that we know that the quality of the streams are much better than we do with the Xbox, for example. So we're on board then with David Taylor-Piggott and the chase cam view coming down Hangar Street just now on the entrance to Stoke Corner. That wonderful snap, crackle and pop of the Porsche 911 GT3 R 24-hour version. It's going to be down into Vale Corner. These cars very tricky, and have a look at that, because David Simon has just eclipsed Keir Riley and dethrones him from pole position. So David Simon on pole position from Keir Riley, from Richard Crozier in third place, Kieran Smart in fourth. We've got David Taylor-Piggott in fifth place, managing to improve with a 2:06.923. Steve Turner in sixth place there, and then it is Alex Hawcutt in seventh. And I think that is all she wrote for that one. There we go. Qualifying is over then. And fantastic turnout so far for the qualifying. 2:02. We've got 4 drivers split by 0.4 of a second. We are ready to go racing, and we can take you down the list then. It's David Simon from Keir Riley in second place. You've got Richard Crozier in third place. You've got Kieran Smart in fourth. David Taylor Piggott in fifth place. Steve Turner in sixth place. And then it is going to be Alexander Hawcutt in seventh place. And what we will do is we can actually go on board to the back of Alex Hawcutt, and we get a great view to the back of the field. Here we go then, race 1 of the evening for the qualifying of the PC, and away we go. A great start for Keir Riley. He is away into the lead by turn 1. Absolute rocket ship of a start. We've got contact between Alex Hawcutt and David Taylor Piggott getting taken out there, with Steve Turner the unlikely 5th place at the moment. Remember, it's the top 5 that qualify for Sunday's grand final. But we'll go back with your race leader then. So it's Keir Riley from David Simon from Richard Crozier, Kieran Smart in 4th place with Steve Turner in 5th, and then it is David Taylor Piggott back up into 6th place right now. Halfway through lap 1 out of 6, and it's still Keir Riley from David Simon from Richard Crozier. That's your top 3. Kieran Smart makes up position 4, and Steve Turner still in 5th place there. And oh my goodness me, that's a moment there for David Taylor Piggott. He loses it at Cobb's Corner, and David Taylor Piggott down into 7th place. Well, that is a turn up for the books, and what has happened to Keir Riley as well? Keir Riley was in the lead, and he has dropped down as well. He's now down into 4th place, so yeah, that is all starting to kick off. A very good evening to Tamsin Green and to Tam Hamill. We'll have a look at the stream after this and see if we can make some changes for it, guys. Apologies if it's not working the best. We'll see what we can do after this. But meanwhile, back with your race leader, David Simon. And Keir Riley goes into the pit lane. He's got a jump start penalty. So Keir Riley has jeopardised it with a jump start, and that is going to hand 3rd place to Steve Turner. Kieran Smart down to 5th place as well. What is going on right now? Nothing makes sense. Everything is upside down right now. David Taylor Piggott down in 7th place there. So it is still David Simon from Richard Crozier from Steve Turner. 4th place is Kieran Smart. 5th place is Alex Hawcutt, but there are still 4 laps left to go. There's Keir Riley behind David Taylor Piggott. Let's have a look at this, because these two are some of the closest cars on track at the moment. We've got Kieran Smart right down the neck of Steve Turner. Side by side out of Cobb's Corner, and look at that. That means that Steve Turner has fallen a cropper. Steve Turner has crashed and is upside down on his roof. Steve Turner is going to have to retire from the race then, and that puts Keir Riley ahead of David Taylor Piggott and into the final qualification place as it stands right now. So David Taylor Piggott is behind Keir Riley. Kieran Smart in 4th place, Alex Hawcott in 3rd place, Richard Crozier in 2nd, and David Simon in 1st place at the moment, as they all just have to kind of hold on to the end of the session. That's what they need to do right now. And it's going to be actually a three-way battle right now for 3rd place, for that final podium place, because they're all 15 seconds behind your race leader. And we've got a cracking battle going on at the front between David Simon and Richard Crozier, but a light year behind them as we see Alex Hawcott moving up the inside of Kieran Smart there. So Alex Hawcott, sorry, that was Kieran Smart going up the inside of Alex Hawcott there. So Kieran Smart takes 3rd place away and now has Keir Riley on the back bumper of those two. And David Taylor Piggott could be in with a chance of qualifying after all, but he needs to get a move on right now. So huge effort going on right now. David Simon just 0.4 of a second ahead of Richard Crozier. Now we see some big fighting going on between Keir Riley and David Taylor Piggott. Oh, and there's contact! Keir Riley has to recover and get himself back onto track. Oh, and these two are on voice chat with each other, so I can imagine there's some choice words being exchanged at the moment. But that means Keir Riley moves back up into 5th place then, and he is just a couple of seconds behind 4th place man Alex Hawcott. And Richard Crozier now 1.2 seconds behind your race leader David Simon. He's now got a time penalty as well, so he's going to have to slow down very soon if he doesn't want to have to hang on to that penalty. And we see David Taylor Piggott going very wide at Cobb's Corner. David Taylor Piggott loses it again, and that drops him back even further, and Keir Riley now moves up into 4th place. Oh my goodness me, my little heart can't take all this action going on in the PC racing just now, but is still David Simon up in front of Richard Crozier in 2nd place there. 3rd place is Keir Riley, is Kieran Smart. Keir Riley up to 4th place. You've got Alex Hawcott down to 5th, and he is now in danger of getting caught up from David Taylor Piggott. We'll keep an eye on that. But your race leader is now still a second ahead of Richard Crozier. That gap's actually come down a little bit. It was all the way up to 1.3 seconds. It had come down a little bit, but now he's starting to stretch it again. So I do wonder if David Simon just managing the gap that he's got out in front there. Just watching the action unfold. We're on lap 4 out of 6. This is going to be the last lap in complete darkness here at Silverstone GP. We have got one more lap and then the sun starts to rise at this virtual recreation. You can see the blue starting to rise up at the back of the stands there. And we will have 2 laps left to go as we see David Simon just throwing the car sideways up into Vale Corner there. Let's have a look further back then. It's still Kieran Smart in 3rd place from Keir Riley. Is about 7 seconds ahead of Alex Hawcott. Alex Hawcott now starting to get chased down by David Taylor Piggott. And we are indeed now on our penultimate lap here for race number 1. Coming up after this one, we are due to have Alistair White, Steve Quinn, Andy McCall, Michael Johnston, James Glendenning, Duncan Steele, Mark McPhee, Cameron Ritchie, Craig Lax, Neil Robertson, John Gronkowski, Stephen Graham, Matthew Davis and Peter Moore are due to take part in the next heat, so we will see from them. But as it is, it's lap 5 and just through Luffield just now for David Simon. Going to be coming up to Cops Corner for the final time, and here we go. We've got a battle going on between Alex Hawcott and David Taylor Piggott. This is for the final qualification place, and that gap now starting to edge up ahead of David Taylor Piggott. Well, let's see what happens here with these two, because this, as I said, is for the final qualification place. We're on board with 6th place David Taylor Piggott. He's got to get past Alex Hawcott in 5th place there. As the sun starts to rise. And I don't believe it. David has lost it again on lap 5 out of 6. And surely that is going to put pay to any chance of David qualifying for the finals on Sunday. We will keep an eye on that. But our eyes are averted to Richard Crozier now, who's now just 0.8 of a second behind your race leader David Simon as they come through to start lap number 6. They're through turn 1 already. They're going to be coming into the arena any second now. And that gap starting to extend very, very slightly here. David Simon really doesn't need to do all that much actually. And Richard Crozier doing all he needs to. And David Taylor has retired from the race then. So there we go. That is confirmation that we have got 5 people surviving this race to go through to Sunday's final. So Keir Riley qualifying for the final for the first time ever. An awesome, awesome job there. Some very, very fast lap times coming in. As we see back to the battle for the race lead through Maggots and Beckett's. Hotly chased down now by Richard Crozier. It's all going to be down this battle to the hanger straight here. And even then, Richard Crozier into Vale Corner for the final time, round through club, and it's going to be David Simon taking the win here for qualifying heat number 1 in the PC. Richard Crozier goes across the line in second place. It's going to be Kieran Smartlow 19 seconds behind. And then Alex Hawcott in 5th place. So Keir Riley coming out of Club Corner and qualifying for Sunday's final for the first time, along with Alex Hawcott. A brilliant debut. And there we are then, that is confirmation of your result. 2 retirements from the race. Steve Turner, who we lost on his roof earlier on, and then David Taylor Piggott throwing in the towel on lap 4 as well. So a great race there. We'll take a very short break and we'll be right back.
I'm calling out, save me, I'm going down, take I can rest my bones safely. Even when I'm together, I'm miles apart. Feel I'm running forever, get back to the start. I don't know if I'm broken or if I am just not trying. But we're feeling alive even when we are slowly dying. Shine a mirror on me. See my reflection, who am I really supposed to see? Who am I really supposed to see? Maybe this ain't for me. Thought that each time I wanna leave, closing the door again, but I keep coming back. I keep coming back to pretend. Even when I'm together, I'm miles apart. Feel I'm running forever, get back to the start. I don't know if I'm broken or if I am just not trying. But we're feeling alive even when we are slowly dying. Shine a mirror on me. See my reflection, who am I really supposed to see? Who am I really supposed to see?
So here we go then, qualifying session number 2 is underway. We do qualified race in just a second. In this heat then we have Alistair White, we've got Steve Quinn, excuse me, as I hiccup halfway through there, Andy McCall, Michael Johnston, James Glendinning, we've got Duncan Steele, we've got Mark McPhee, Cameron Ritchie, Craig Lax, Neil Robertson, Jordan Gronkowski, Stephen Graham, Matthew Davis and Peter Moore, all in the... So without further ado, let's go and join the action. This session looks like we've got about 13 out of the 14 cars here with us. So without So this is one of the most important heats that you're going to see tonight. The next one is going to be as important, if not more so, for a couple of reasons. If we look at the PC points totals at the moment, it is John Munro who is up in the next heat. He is on 119 points. John Monroe on 119 points. Now Craig Lax is actually on 102. We put some calculations together earlier on and got them slightly wrong. So those were the ones that originally went up on the website and unfortunately got distributed. So Craig Lax is actually on 102 points, but I think it was something like we'd put him on 79 or something like that. So correct gap is just 17 points, so it's all to play for in this final race this weekend. So Craig Lax must qualify. It's all on that tonight. Ross McGregor is in action in heat number 3 as well with John Monroe. Again, he is still technically in with a chance of beating John Monroe. He's on 73 points, but there's a total of 50 points, so he could end up with 123 theoretically, and he is the final title contender for the PC Championship. Lorenzo Turi, who was supposed to be in Heat 1, has been very, very spotty in terms of attendance, so he has missed out this week, and it'll be interesting to see who else can finish on the top 5 of that championship. But it is John Monroe with 119 points from Craig Lax in second place with 102 points. So there we go. Wow. Hang on, I need to kill this music, my goodness me. Right, so what's just happened there is your boy Craig Lax has just done a 2:01. That is by far the fastest time that anyone has set during any during any platform this week. That is just absolutely absurd. 2:01.936 from Craig Lax. I mean, wow. And not to be sniffed at, just behind him, Jordan Gronkowski, 2:02.795. So 1 minute 50, and I've got to be honest, I don't think Craig Lax is going to be getting caught with that time. He's out there in a land of his own right now. And these Porsches are an absolute handful to take around this track here at Silverstone. So for those of you wondering, we set exactly the same across the consoles and the PC. The in-game time and in-game date are set to exactly the same, so that the track conditions are the same, the weather conditions are the same, the all that sort of ambient temperature, all that sort of stuff is exactly the same. So it is a fair spread across the platforms. And he's just shown his absolute class right now. John Gronkowski though improving still, 2:02.375. This is shaping up to be an awesome little battle that's going to develop here. In third place then at the moment is Kos 106. That is of course who is that again? That's Scuderia Kos. That's Michael Johnston. That is. Who was that was in chat saying nice to see them given a chance? That was Michael Webster being the wide guy there. But it is the case that Michael Johnson just easing off a little bit. And that's the thing, with 5 going through from this qualifier, they don't really need to force the issue and to push things through. But qualifying comes to an end. James Glendenning is in 4th place at the moment. We've got, who is that in 5th place? That is Stephen Graham making his way into 5th place. 6th place is going to be Peter Moore. We've got Steve Quinn in 7th place. That's Duncan Steele in 8th. Alistair White is in 9th. We've then got Cameron Ritchie in 10th place. We've got Neil Robertson in 11th. and Andy McCall in 12th, and rounding out the field at the back, Matthew Davis. So this, you're absolutely right, Tam. This is probably going to be one of the closest races that we have had so far in the championship. And look at that, hang on a second, hold your horses. Jordan Gronkowski right at the end. What on earth? Jordan Gronkowski takes it out the bag with a 2:01.737. Wow, so Jordan Gronkowski on pole from Craig Lax by just 1/10 of a second. Can you believe it? That is sensational stuff. So that sets us up for an amazing race here. Jordan Gronkowski on row 1 with Craig Lax. They are going to be giving us one hell of a battle in towards the race tonight. We've then got in 3rd place, it's Michael Johnston. In 4th place is Stephen Graham. 5th place is going to be James Glendenning. 6th place is Steve Quinn. We've got Peter Moore in 7th place. 8th place is going to be Duncan Steele, I believe. Is 9th place is Alistair White, Cameron Ritchie in 10th. We've got Tiny Ninja, that's Matthew Davis, up into 11th. Neil Robertson in 12th place. And then you have got Andy McCall at the back of the field in 13th place. This is going to be a spicy meatball, my friends. Race 2, qualifying heat 2 for the PCs in the final round of the SMRC eSports Racing Spring Championship. And my goodness me, I have not been so excited this far as I am right now for Jordan Gronkowski versus Craig Lax. I only hope that we all get treated to the amazing race that we all deserve. The cars are ready to go on the grid. We're going to go on board with Michael Johnston, and away we go. John Gronkowski gets a good start, but it's an even better start for Craig Lax up on that right hand side. They're down in towards turn 1, and Craig Lax takes the lead. John Gronkowski goes out wide, and he's going to have to come back on in front of Michael Johnson, but Michael Johnson's going to have the inside line in towards turn 2. Jordan Gronkowski late on the brakes, as late as he possibly could, and this means that Craig Lax gets to go away with the lead, but not for too much longer now. Michael Johnson tucks in behind Jordan Gronkowski, and we are go then for race number 1 of the evening. What a start for Craig Lax. And this is awesome, awesome stuff. John Gronkowski now a second behind your race leader of Craig Lax, and that is Michael Johnson having Stephen Graham trying to go around the outside at Luffield. That's never going to work, and that's going to allow Steve Quinn up into the action as well. So it's Craig Lax from John Gronkowski, Michael Johnson in 3rd, Stephen Graham in 4th, and then Steve Quinn in 5th place, that final qualifying position. He is being chased down though by Peter Moore as well. Oh, and there's contact, and both Steve Quinn and Peter Moore collide at the exit of Copse there, and that sends them both out. Duncan Steele benefits from that, and that is good night for them too. I cannot see them getting away back into that race after that collision there. Hard luck. Well, you hate to see it, but these things do happen. And look at that, we've got 4 cars within about 2 seconds of your race leader. Make that 3 seconds of your race leader. Duncan Steele leading that second charging group, 6 seconds behind the race leader. But it's still Craig Lax from Jordan Gronkowski, from Michael Johnston, then it's Stephen Graham and Duncan Steele. That is your qualifiers for this week so far, and we are still not even past the first lap. We're through Club Corner and we're into the dark here at the virtual recreation of Silverstone GP, and on to lap 2 we go. The gap now from 1st to 5th place, now 7.5 seconds, as the pace from Craig Lax is absolutely unrelenting. Here comes John Gronkowski though. The gap was 2 seconds, is now down to 1.7 seconds, but it goes up again, and I think Craig Lax may just have the measure of Jordan Gronkowski on this one. As we see Craig Lax throwing the back end of that Porsche 911 GT3R around Luffield there, and everything that it possibly can get from that car, every ounce of traction and acceleration that can be extracted is being done so by this absolute sim racing master right now. Craig Lax 2.1 seconds ahead of Jordan Gronkowski. Down into Maggots and Beckett's, and it's a very dark, spooky track that we're racing on right now. And the problem with a performance like this is that it absolutely eclipses everyone behind. We see all of the other cars from 1st to 13th place is 28 seconds. 6th place is 19 seconds behind the leader, so it just shows the blistering pace that this top 5 have got on right now. Your top 5 split by 10 seconds and your top 4 split by 5.5 seconds. So this has been an awesome, awesome race, and it's all kicking off behind. Let's go on board with Steve Quinn now. He is being chased down by Alistair White. They're side by side coming round turn 1 there. And it is still Steve Quinn in the lead for that. We're on to lap 3 though for Craig Lax, and it's a 2.5 second gap now. The gap just starting to get eked out even more. 2:01.664. That is frightening. Frightening pace on a heavier fuel load from Craig Lax than in qualifying. That is absolutely absurd. Jordan Gronkowski now starting to get reeled in by 3rd place there, Michael Johnston. The gap is just 1.8 seconds between 2nd and 3rd place, but between 3rd and 4th place it's another 1.7 seconds as we see Stephen Graham into 4th place as well, and Duncan Steele safely, very safely in 5th place. He's out all by himself. He's just racing, doing his own thing, and that's exactly what he needs to do. Meanwhile, we have got an epic battle going on, and this is for 6th place, can you believe? These guys are fighting for a place that doesn't even qualify, but they're fighting as if it was the race lead right now. Steve Quinn ahead of Alistair White, ahead of Cameron Ritchie, Peter Moore and James Glendenning in that scrap as well. This is amazing racing going on here. And this is exactly the point I was trying to make last night, is that it doesn't matter where you are in the field when you get into a really good race. This is where the fun happens. Oh, and Cameron Ritchie loses it at Cobb's Corner. And so does Peter Moore. And so does Alistair White. 4 cars off at the same corner, and that means that Iridium, James Glendenning, can just blitz off into the sunset 5 seconds ahead of everyone else. Well, that is, formation crashing going on there. Meanwhile, back up at the front, Craig Lax doing another storming lap, 2:01.676. On to lap 4 here, and the pace is just relentless, absolutely relentless here from Craig Lax. John Gronkowski doing a fantastic job there in 2nd place. He's now 2 seconds ahead of Michael Johnston in 3rd place. Stephen Graham down in 4th. He's drifting off as well. He's now 9.8 seconds behind the leader and 4 seconds behind your 3rd place car. Duncan Steele in 5th place may be able to take that extra point from Stephen Graham. It's not really going to count for anything because these are just qualification. Let's have a look down to Tiny Ninja then, getting a shout in chat. Matthew Davis fight that out with Cameron Ritchie. Cameron Ritchie having to drop all the way down to the back of the field there. And we've got a cracking fight going on between Alistair White and Shotgun Andy. That is, of course, Andy McCall. Now, what has happened here? Because we have got a battle going on for 2nd place, and Jordan Gronkowski has gone into the lead. Now hang on, what has happened to Craig Lax? Your race leader, who was looking so secure, is down into 3rd place. And that's going to have been a mistake at Cop's corner or Maggots or Beckett's, but he's lost out, and he's lost out big time. That gap was 3 seconds, so he's lost out 6 seconds on that lap, and that now means the race leader is Jordan Gronkowski with just 2 laps left to go. It's going to be Michael Johnson in second place, and then Craig Lax in third. Huge drama here, and surely that's got to have been an unforced error. We're not coming into any lap traffic here, but look at this. Michael Johnson and Craig Lax fighting it out, and this is absolutely pivotal. Craig Lax has to have his head on right now, because if anything happens here with Michael Johnson and any sort of contact takes them down, Craig Lax will not qualify for Sunday's final. But Craig Lax moves up into second place there. No issues whatsoever as they start lap number 5. And Jordan Gronkowski has a 3-second lead with 2 laps left to go. You could not write this. You could not script this right now. Duncan Steele still in 5th place, 10 seconds, 11 seconds over Steve Quinn in 6th place there. But my attention is going to be well and truly kept here on Jordan Gronkowski, because he's now starting to stretch away a little bit from second place of Craig Lax. Let's jump on board then with Craig Lax actually on request down into Cops, and very late into that corner there. Now the gap is just under 3 seconds now, so the time is starting to come down as we go on board with Jordan Gronkowski. 2.5 seconds now. What is going on? The pace that Craig Lax has got is just phenomenal. This is setting itself up to be one of the most awesome final laps potentially that we've had here for the SMRC eSports Racing Spring Championship. The tension is absolutely unbearable right now, because we're into Stowe corner and Jordan Gronkowski 2.5 seconds ahead of that man who was absolutely dominating the race so far. And it's through Vale Corner and then into Club for the penultimate time. Jordan Gronkowski is going to go across the line to start the final lap, and the gap is up now, 2.7 seconds. What has Craig Lax got in the tank? That was a 2:01.947 last time round for Craig Lax, so the pace is still there. But can Jordan Gronkowski, can he do his best impression of a sponge and soak up all this pressure? We're about to find out live here on YouTube. The gap now down to just 2 seconds. They're going down the Wellington Straight. What can Craig Lax pull out? We know he's fast, but surely it's not going to be 2 seconds worth of speed. But all needs to do is put that pressure onto Jordan Gronkowski. They're coming through Luffield, and then it's going to be Cop's Corner. The gap is now under 2 seconds, but it's going back up again. Jordan Gronkowski might have the answer here. Into Cop's Corner then. And you can see that gap trying to squeeze itself down, but it's not going to happen. Jordan Gronkowski still 2 seconds ahead, but he's lost out a lot of time here. Let's go on board with Craig Lax. It's now 1.9 seconds. There's just 3-4 more corners left to go as they come along the Hanger Straight for the final time. I think Jordan Gronkowski has done enough. Let's go on board with Jordan. He's into Stowe Corner for the final time. It's going to be down into Vale on the brakes. Very hard. The gap 1.8 seconds, and surely he's done enough. It's just Club Corner to go. An amazing performance and his very first win. It's qualifying heat number 2 and a win for Jordan Gronkowski. An amazing race there. Second place goes to Craig Lax. Third place goes to Michael Johnson. Fourth place goes to Stefan Graham, and fifth place, a very well deserved fifth place, is going to go to Duncan Steele. Incredible stuff, ladies and gentlemen. 6th place is going to go to James Glendenning. Steve Quinn is going to take 7th place there. Peter Moore in 8th. We've got Alistair White in 9th. We've got Neil Robertson in 10th place. 11th place is going to be Andy McCall. Cameron Ritchie finishing in 12th. And then at the back of the grid is Matthew Davis. Thank you very much for pointing that out. Jordan? What is Jordan doing? Oh, he's doing celebratory donuts, of course. Right. Thanks very much for pointing that out, Glenn. Yes, I do need to breathe. It was very difficult during that race, though. Wow, that is easily one of the best races that we have had here in the SMRC eSports Spring Racing Championship. And yeah, we'll forgive him all that virtual damage there. Who would have thought it then? Jordan Gronkowski taking the win from Craig Lax. And what a race. 5 cars going through, and we'll confirm that just now for you. We've got John Gronkowski, we've got Craig Lax, Michael Johnston, we've got Stephen Graham, and then Duncan Steele, all going through to Sunday's final after that amazing race. We're going to take a very short break, and when we return, we'll have qualifying heat number 3. Qualifying is over then, and right at the last gasp, John Munro takes pole position with a 2:01.572 after apparently stuttering and struggling with that car. Ross McGregor in second place with a 2:02.092, and let's have a look here. Sorry, I was getting distracted there. Third place is Mark Richards, and then in fourth place, it looks like that is going to be, I think that's Darren now. That is indeed Darren from round one that we managed to get in. Darren Scott, we got into heat number 3 here. We've then also got Owen Ross in fifth place. We've got Racer 201, that's Paul Smith. We've got Cooper Motorsport, that is Gary Cooper, and then we have got GHC Jamstar, that is Jackie Chalmers on her second race here with the SMRC eSports Racing Championship. So there we go then, the race is complete, and we turn our attention then to our final race of the night. We, as you can imagine there, a little confused to see Mr. David Taylor Piggott back in the race, but yeah, well, I'm not even going to ask what happened there. So we're just waiting for the final cars to make their way through the rest of the circuit. So there we go then, John Munro from Ross McGregor, and then in third place is going to be Mark Richards. That is, we've got 8 cars in this race. We'll let them line up and we are good to go. Let's just have one last look at the points then. So as it stands, it is John Munro from Craig Lax and Ross McGregor. But here we go racing for the final race of the night, and it's John Munro from Ross McGregor. Remember, this is to qualify for Sunday as we wait for the cars to come round turn 2. And it is still John Munro from Ross McGregor from in third place, that is Mark Richards. And John Munro getting a slow down penalty there, and that's affected him massively. What has happened to John Munro right now? So he's dropped down into third place there, and I've got no idea what has happened to John Munro in that one. Well, he seems to have recovered anyway, so it's Ross McGregor in the lead then from Mark Richards. Oh, we've got a huge crash in the background there. That was Jackie Chalmers, I fear, that went off at the exit of, I think that was Cops Corner. In fact, no, that was at the exit of Luffield. So Jackie Chalmers goes face first into the wall there, and that is going to be a lengthy repair bill on that virtual Porsche GT3. But it's still then Ross McGregor from Mark Richards. That's right, Aidan, this is indeed the last heat. We've only got 3 because we only had 45 entrants for this week's final PC qualification run. So it's Ross McGregor from Mark Richards, John Munro in 3rd place. And then that is going to be in 4th place. Let's have a look. That is Darren Scott, with Owen Ross in 5th place. Owen Ross in that final qualification position. John Munro making a look up the inside of Mark Richards there here on lap number 2 out of 6 as Silverstone falls into darkness for the final time this week. We'll be back on Sunday for the grand finals. But at the moment, the two men that need to qualify are in the position right now. Ross McGregor in the lead from Mark Richards, and then it's John Munro in 3rd place with, in 4th place, that is, of course, Darren Scott. And then 5th place is going to be Owen Ross. 6th place is going to be Gary Cooper. And then in 7th place, it is Paul Smith, and then Jackie Chalmers at the back of the grid there. And the gap now really starting to open up. Hang on a second. John Munro then up into 2nd place now. So he's already dispatched Mark Richards, who is now come a cropper and is all the way down into 4th place, and he's getting chased down now by Owen Ross as well. So something dramatic happened with John Munro in the battle for 2nd place there, with John Munro now hunting down Ross McGregor. And remember, John Munro currently leading the PC Championship as it stands. So he just needs to qualify right now. Meanwhile, that looks like Owen Ross has got past. We've got past Gary Cooper. Sorry, I was a little bit lost for words there because I'm trying to keep a grasp of what's going on. I think Mark Richards is starting to stretch away from that group behind him of Owen Ross, Gary Cooper, and then Darren Scott. Oh, and Darren Scott very late on the brakes there, almost taking out Gary Cooper, and thankfully thinks better of it. Back to your race leaders then, and we are on to lap 3 out of 6. We're coming down in towards Luffield here. And the gap now is 2.3 seconds between 1st and 2nd place. I think Ross McGregor does have the edge slightly over John Munro in 2nd place here. And remember, all that matters is these 5 cars getting through to the final on Sunday. That's where the points count. Meanwhile, Mark Richards a light year behind in 3rd place. He's on his own back there because he is starting to stretch away from Owen Ross, but still can't keep on to the back of John Munro in that 2nd place there. Darren Scott in the final qualifying position from Gary Cooper. Ross McGregor now just under actually now 2 seconds, because John Munro's starting to bring that gap down as he tries to catch on the leader. They've just started lap number 4. We can see Owen Ross now having to battle that position from Darren Scott. Darren Scott going to make a move up the inside there. Oh, he thinks about it. He does make the move stick, and it's very, very respectful driving from the two of them. Well done, as we see Gary Cooper falling further and further behind there. And you can see quite a few of the cars running for K. Riley Motorsport. We've got at least 3 of the cars tonight racing for K. Riley Motorsport. Back up to your race leader then on lap 4 out of 6, and Ross McGregor just 1.5 seconds ahead of John Munro. John starting to get into his groove with his Porsche 911. We've seen this all throughout the championship. John may have a bit of a lacklustre start, but he certainly makes up for it as he counts the laps down and really, really puts the pace in. 1.6 is the gap now as they come into Stowe Corner, and they've got just 2 laps left to go this time round. The sun starting to rise here at the virtual Silverstone GP circuit down in England. Intervale Corner for your race leader Ross McGregor, and he has been hunted by John Munro. Back with the battle for 4th and 5th place though, because Owen Ross hasn't backed off too far from Darren Scott. It is just 1.5 seconds between them, so anything can happen in that battle as well. But the gap now going up between Ross McGregor and John Munro. Back to this battle for 4th and 5th place there, and look at Owen Ross still trying to hold on to the back of Darren Scott, and these two really just need to use their heads in this one, because at the moment they're both going to qualify for Sunday's grand final. But it's all about the bragging rights ahead of then as we come round towards Copse for the penultimate time. Ross McGregor still in the lead from John Munro. We still have all 8 cars out on track at the moment. The beautiful sunrise here, and lap 5 is almost in the books. As we watch the cars now coming down the hangar straight towards Stowe Corner. And it's been a strong performance for Ross McGregor then in first place ahead of John Munro. The two of them are 13 seconds ahead of the entire pack right now. Just club corner to go for this penultimate lap, and it's going to be lap number 6 is underway for your race leader Ross McGregor from John Munro. Mark Richards in 3rd place. We've got Darren Scott in 4th, and then Owen Ross in 5th place as well. But I still don't think it's over between these two just now. We'll keep an eye on that. But again, all John Munro has to do right now is finish. Ross McGregor just has to finish as well and make sure that they are in good shape for Sunday. The cars make their way through Luffields, and again it's a big gap that they've got over the rest of the field just now. And I think John Munro now is safely just bringing that car home. He's now over 2 seconds behind, so I don't think he's going to be challenging for the lead. But Ross McGregor through Copse Corner for the final time. We've just got about 6 to 8 corners left to go on the circuit. We come through the Maggots and Beckett's complex, and then it's down Hanger Straight along Stowe Corner, and then into Vale and Club Corner for the final time of asking. The gap behind him as well between Darren Scott and Owen Ross is stretched out a little bit. It's now 1.1 seconds between them, and Mark Richards really left in no man's land, 13 seconds behind your race leader and also 9 seconds ahead of the battle for 4th and 5th place right now. But it's been an exemplary drive for Ross McGregor. It's been an exhibition drive for Ross McGregor, and it's been a very, very strong recovery from John Munro after those lap 1 troubles. He could have been in some real danger there, but he averted it and got that 2nd place. But it's all about this man here, Ross McGregor, for the final time tonight, goes across the line and wins our final qualifying heat of the SMRC eSports Racing Spring Championship. John Munro in 2nd place, Mark Richards in 3rd place. It's going to be Dan Scott in 4th, and Owen Ross is going to come across the line a 2.5 seconds behind Dan Scott there to take that final qualifying position for Sunday's final. Gary Cooper is going to finish a respectable 6th place there, and then it is going to be Racer 201, that's Paul Smith, is going to finish in 7th place, and then Jackie Chalmers, spirited effort from her, is going to finish in 8th place there. Fantastic, fantastic effort there, and the excuses coming in from John Munro already. His laptop couldn't handle Silverstone, but it doesn't matter, he's made it through to Sunday's final. And what a race. So the championship, as we looked at it before, still looks like this then. John Munro in the lead with 119 points from Craig Lax in 2nd place with 102 points. Ross McGregor with 73 points. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been an awesome, awesome night of racing here. And we hope you very much enjoyed it as much as we did. We will be back on Sunday with more action from the SMRC eSports Racing Spring Championship. I've been David Christie. Thank you very, very much for watching, and we will see you on Sunday.